Hey everyone and welcome! You join us as Ben's complaining about my map selection and how bad they are for
Those
these
terrain
ones.
layouts are disgusting.
Which means we're ready for round 3 of the 40k League at Deeside Defenders. Thanks for joining us. We have Ben, as usual.
Welcome. I'm just pressing the button.
The
Just trying to
ringmaster.
get
He's getting the draws
the
ready.
draw ready to
We
go.
have replaced Steve with Adam. He's back.
Yeah, downgrade, but you know.
At least you've come with a full list, though.
Exactly.
You've turned up with more than two models.
Two
in your
models,
list, so.
And I'm here because I'm the only one with a working mouse. So here we are.
I wouldn't say it was working.
No, it's not really working. So you know the format. What we're going to go through, Ben?
So round 3, which would traditionally have been the halfway point in the league, but for this season it's not. We've got 8 rounds this time, so we have 8 unbeaten players as it stands. 8 people on 2-0. So this is a pretty pivotal round. This one, it could halve the unbeaten players, which would be interesting. This is the first round where painting score is now applied. So as of this round, you do get your 10 points of battle ready. We would ask you to be consistent with your opponents. So it can feel a bit shitty when your opponent turns up with one unpainted model. We would always leave that to player.
Yeah, it depends how much you want friends, doesn't it, really?
Yeah, but obviously we need to be consistent. If you turn up one week and you punish, and then the following round you decide not to apply it, that's not fair. So it's 10 points, battle ready check. We're just talking basically a base model and 3 colours, so it's not hyper detailed. No. Basically just like a Death Guard model, as long as it's like a Death Guard model.
So you're telling me I can't use a roll of masking tape in this round to represent a norm?
No, not for this round. Okay. It's official. Proxies are still valid, but not a proxy of a current live model. So you can't use Blade Guard for Intercessors as an example because they're an actual model, but I'd rather go into too
different size bases and different formats and all that shit.
Yeah.
Okay, so normally what we do at this stage is we announce the mission that we're going to be playing because that is randomised. We've got 6 left, obviously with 6 rounds left.
And the disgusting layouts you've picked?
They are not, just in case I get grief, which I know I will now. They are maps 4 and 5 from every single WC.
Very good for old shooty armies.
I will have to probably double check before I post that the layouts are correct because WCC just
updated them again.
Just updated them a little bit. And of course, then we'll do the live draw, which is completely random. I have no idea who's going to who.
Yeah, I've hit the button. It's done the draw now. I haven't looked yet. So
Ben is the only man in the universe potentially who has that information in his hand. So without further ado, it's time. Once I get this up, it should be missions. Is that right? No. It should be.
We are a professional outfit.
Get ready to roll that dice, Adam.
Get ready.
There we go.
Roll the dice, please.
Map number 3.
So if we go into the transition here, that's map 1.
Yeah.
And then if I actually go to this, map 2.
I know what's coming.
Map 3, which we've already done. So we go on to the next one.
Yeah.
Map 4, Purge the Foe.
Purge the Foe.
No!
Okay.
This is the one I don't want Space Wolves in.
That is actually done. It's one of the few maps that actually has some quite decent staging points as well. For the new WTC maps generally are very open in the middle. Yeah. So this is actually one of the few that has an awful lot of cover in that midboard. But there are still some massive firing lanes from deployment zones all the way to the corners.
There is. So I think you stop in with those big covers shooting down both sides from your deployment zone, but
I think you can see can't quite see my mouse on the screen. That's unfortunate. So it looks like on both of it's hammer and anvil, just so everyone knows, as you can see that. So I think this is the second time we've done a hammer and anvil deployment. It is the top 2 and the bottom objective have actually got on them. You can sit behind that wall and sit on the objective on both. And the central objective, you have to be in the open so much as you can. Staging is horrendous. This is definitely going to favour combat armies. Shooting armies are really going to have to pick their fights.
Really one of the few that is nice for combat armies.
And Purge the Foe. So has that changed? So basically, you're going to get 4 points. This is one where you can score primary in the first turn. It's one of the only ones.
Yeah,
right?
Just the 4 points now, though.
Only 4. So it's capped at 4 for killing a unit. So you've got to be careful about using screens carelessly in this one. Then you get 4 for holding an objective, and then Oh, that's from the second battle round. You get 4 for holding an objective, 4 for holding more objectives than your opponent, so your home will count, and then you get 4 for killing more enemy units at the end of the battle round. So that's 16 potential primary per turn. That's huge. So basically, after 3 turns, you could have almost 50 if you are careless.
Yeah, it's as I said, it's not for MSU armies, not the best mission, because you tend to be sacrificing 2 or 3 little units to coax out your opponent's hard hitters. So MSU is not generally well favoured here. It can be quite a passive matchup as well, because nobody wants to just give away that free kill early in the game. So score your 8, get an objective, kill a unit, score your 8, and stay safe, I guess, is the advice. But decent mission. I think it's a pretty straightforward one. Just do what you want to do in the game, hold an objective and kill something. So,
and for the 4 or 10 Knights players in the league this year, you can note that the little red man on the top and the bottom there means that Knights cannot get through that gap. Of course, big Knights can walk over the 4-inch terrain.
They can, yeah. I mean, Steve, his big Knight can go through the walls, and his single little Knight can run down the side. So Steve's got plenty of room to deploy. That's one of the good things about this his 2-model army.
Right, then. Everyone's had a good gander at that. And just
right.
Everyone's saying nice maps. Yeah, the Death Guard players are loving this one.
I'm sure they are. So, first up.
Let me get ready.
Talking of Death Guard, the first of our Death Guard players is out, and it is Sam Lindsay.
Oh, very nice. That is a Marine Brace list this time. It's got some drones and some termies.
Yeah, 3
drones.
I think he's one of the only Death Guard players that is running triple Plague Marines in his army. So they tend to have been dropped in favour of lots of terminating things now, but it's good to still see the Plague Marines. Yeah, they can put out some serious damage, and that T5 is goddamn annoying.
Yeah.
T6 now, I think.
Yes, T6 now, because terminates a 7. Yeah, how silly.
And they're going to be great on this map.
And he will be playing Mr. Studart himself.
I bet Sam's going to enjoy that. I'm running my Norn list again. This time I had taken the Spore Mines out, and I've finally been convinced to put some gargoyles back into my list, just in time for Kilmore.
Yeah, I did nickname this list Noah's Norns, because you basically have 2 of every single unit of needs. It's quite fun with the two Norn emissaries. So I think I even made a comment to say it was great to see you put the gargoyles back in.
Yeah, you have indeed.
Do you know what? Quite good in Purge though, for just sneaking in and denying an objective. So not the end of the world. So there we go. Our first matchup, Nids into Death Guard.
Yep.
Next for Sam to finally get a win.
Up is Mr. Paul Sheard on his sisters.
That's the triple immolator, isn't it? And Castigate with Duo.
There was an awful lot of armour in this list. 3 immolators, double Castigator, Val and her squad, lots of canonesses, lots of Arco Fragments. It was, do you know what? To be able to jump out the immolator stage, jump out, it's quite, I think on this mission map, it's quite nice with those shooting lanes. So decent for Paul. And he will be playing Nathan Evans. His elder.
Nathan's out for blood.
Ooh, that's going to be an interesting one. That one, I quite like that matchup.
Yeah, I think
I just like seeing Eldar die, to be honest.
Yeah, I think we all do. Yeah. I think Nathan's tweaked his list again since I think this is version
1372 of his Sea Council.
There we go, version 1372 of the Brewmaster, as self-nicknamed Brewmaster's list. Nathan's been tinkering. Let's see what he can produce with that Seer Council this time.
Well, he was on the stream, wasn't he, Martin? And that was another thing. We'll be looking for stream players, I've got to mention that.
Yes,
so the last few stream games, every stream game in this league has been bloody close.
Yeah.
A draw or a minor win, and I've really enjoyed them.
I think we're starting to see the impact of challenger cards in every game as well. Yeah. The difference they make. Absolutely huge. Right, next up is the first of our Knights players. It is Steve Davis, otherwise known as Pretty Steve.
Yeah, with his 2 models. That's right.
No, that's
it's Bearded Steve. This is the 3 big and 5 small
Yeah,
with double
Yeah.
assassin.
yeah. Steve going with one of the new archetypes now with the 3 big knights, 5 small knights, Calidus assassin, Clixus, whatever it's called, the Siphon
Yeah,
assassin.
Siphon.
one.
Yeah, both it's got an uppy downy once per game. It's quite nice for knights to just jump and score.
Interesting.
So he's got 2 uppy downy assassins. He's got
That's
3
quite
big
cool.
knights. Quite a nice map to touch in here and just shoot that staging combat squad. So
Well, I didn't even think to look at how this map's going to play for knights. I can imagine they can touch 2 pieces of terrain and see
get
a
some
lot.
big shoots.
Yeah.
And Steve will be playing a gentleman who absolutely loves his knights matchups. It's probably his favourite matchup, and that is Nick Mag on his custodians.
Oh.
God, poor
Oof.
Nick again.
Nick does seem to regularly draw knights players. It seems to be a pretty standard thing for Nick. In this new meta as well, I think custodians it's not been a great matchup for them if they fail to hit to kill the knight. I will say I think Adam will remind me Nick has kind of gone back to the tried and tested Warden spam.
It's Warden spam. Yeah.
So he hasn't got the tanks in there anymore, do you think?
I don't remember seeing a single grav tank.
I mean, it should still work because he's still in Lions, I assume.
Yeah.
But Nick, if I remember right, he's gone into Demon Plague spam. Then Steve's Knight.
Yeah, second of 3 knights in
Yeah.
3
And then Knight's good.
3 games.
Yeah,
So,
no tanks.
Nick will have a big smile on his face, I'm sure. But he has got the 3 lots of Wardens in, which they feel no pains they can pop, can keep them alive against the Knights. Just roll those lethals, he's fine.
Yeah. Just falls, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Next up, Andy Adamson.
Ooh.
Coming in
He's
hot
been
with
spending his
Space
pocket money.
Marines.
He has been spending his pocket money.
Triple Vindicator makes a return to the table.
You've been giving him too much pocket money, Alan.
I have been giving him so much pocket money.
Andy, yeah, great victory for him last round.
Yeah.
He was really happy with the way the triple Vindicator performed. I think he'll be even happier when he learns he's playing Bearded Steve.
Ooh.
Triple Vindicator
Yeah.
into 2 knights.
Yeah.
2 big Knights.
No, Steve's
No, just
entire
2
army,
knights.
just 2 knights.
Shots, I thought that was a joke.
No, that's just what he submitted.
Okay.
No, only joking, Steve. Steve does have a 3 or 4 big knight
4
list.
big, 3 little, and a little tiny Calidus is the name of the list.
He does, yeah. Again, that new kind of knight meta, three or 4
Is that
big
what's
dudes.
circulating at the moment?
It's getting quite popular because the Helverins with that 3 damage Squire's Duty can just punish stuff. And the only way you deal with 2 or 3 big knights is generally put your whole army out and try and kill 2 of them.
Yeah.
And then the Helverins can just pick everything else up. So
Okay.
pretty decent list. I think Andy's going to be very happy to have 3 Vindicators in that list because if there's anything can kill big knights, maybe it's Vindicators.
Especially with Odin plus 1 to wound.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. There'll be wounded
Twos.
knights, big knights with 2s.
Yeah,
That's
wow.
horrific.
Wow.
Double oaths. Double oaths as well, I imagine.
Double oaths, yeah, with Gurman. So,
Okay.
right, next up,
Engaged.
Matt Hughes on his all.
Oh,
Matt Hughes.
did really well last week.
Had a
Dagger.
great all-off last week.
Yeah.
It was,
Close game.
Very close
Into an
game.
experienced sort player.
Yeah.
The swig off was the difference, I believe.
Yeah. Hard to choose through that. Got
Matt, pretty standard build. He's getting very good with the list. He's
Yeah.
got Gazco in there. He's got a couple of trucks. He's got boys.
He's made a
got
big
Storm
change.
Boys.
So he's got rid of the Gorkanaut.
I think it's back in for this one, or
Is it
more.
back in? He was telling me he's got
one
rid
of
of
the
it.
2.
He's put in a.
I was just trying to open it, but I just
Unless
opened
he's
the wrong part.
bottled it, he said he's taking out the Gorkanaut.
I'm sure.
He should take out the Gorkanaut, I think.
Ratchet, Flashgate.
Might be.
Knobs, Storm Boys.
No, my bad. He has.
Yeah, the Gorkanaut's there. It's from the list. It's Storm
He
Boys
has.
with their knobs
So
out.
he's gone for the Death
Good
Dread.
change.
So something that's an output. I'd never see a Death Dread, and then some Orb Boys for OC.
Yeah.
So he really felt the pain, I think, when he was going into James with his something like 500 OC in the
Yeah.
list, and it came back. So it'll be interesting to see
It'll
how
be
he
a
gets
good
on with that
game.
change.
Well, talking about 500 OC, he'll be playing Lee Hughes.
Lee
He's back
Hughes.
Templars.
Oh, a rematch
It's a Matt Lee
from last league.
rematch.
They did it on the stream,
They
in
did
fact.
it on the stream. Lee, I think, is bringing something like 70 Marines in his list.
Yeah, and a couple of tanks.
It's just insane amount of Crusaders, 2 OC each. He's got a couple of tanks in there, some jetpacks. This is just going to be a crazy combat matchup.
Yeah.
Just Crusaders charging boys. It's
Well, you might,
boys vs men, you could say, I guess. In terms of,
yeah, Matt might regret taking the Gorkin out in that match. so turning your voice off
advice,
me, what you...
this is why you don't listen to Josh. You listen to Eldar.
Some flash kits should.
Yeah, it's a good game. I mean, that's a combat heavy game.
Yeah.
But at least it's a map that does gravitate towards.
I love that. That's going to be a good one.
So next up, another combat army. Phil Roberts on his World Eaters. I guess they're not just combat anymore.
No,
but it is Phil.
That's 8 bound led by Slaughterbound. I can't get that out. That beer's hit that 3%, and a double fiend.
Yes, yeah. I mean, those Forge Fiends are just horrible meters now. The damage they put out is incredible. Lots of 8 bound, some nice staging points.
Sustained,
good army. And he's going into Mr. Barry Betts on his Eldar.
Oh, that's
now,
Wraith Knight Avatar.
It's a very interesting Eldar list.
Okay,
and Barry, as Adam just said, has bought a Wraith Knight.
Yeah.
All right.
He has bought Avatar.
Okay.
He's got some big chunky boys in this matchup.
Yes. What Wraith Knight? Is it the sword one? I'm intrigued. Just having a look. Swoopy Ghost Glaive. Okay. Well, if you can get into that army, they are going to struggle to punch up. I'm going to say actually the 8 bound. If they've got Exalted, they have got anti-vehicle.
Yes, he's got I think 2 lots of 6, so anti-vehicle 3+.
He's got anti-monster 3+.
Yes, anti-vehicle.
I was going to say because the Wraith Knight is actually a monster.
Yeah, the 8 bound will deal with it, but what detachment is Barry playing? Is it
Aspect Host
for the more reliable damage output? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And the Avatar one.
I mean, to be honest, Barry, he's had a bit of a blinder here because the one thing you don't want to play in Purge is MSU Eldar. So when you just chuck 400 points into a Wraith Knight, it kind of works out well.
Sorry.
So
Sorry,
Barry, obviously one of his Farseers picked up on that, and yeah, good move by Barry. So next up, World Eaters again. Mike Darby on his World Eaters.
Yeah.
Darby.
And we'll be playing Josh on his Chaos Demon.
But Mike is playing an interesting list, isn't he? He's got his Khorne Demon King detachment.
Yes.
With Scarbrand.
Oh, that's good.
I haven't seen many people playing it, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
He's got Scarbrand, he's got loads of Bloodletters, he's got Bloodthirster, Jackals, Berserkers. Yeah, I've not seen. There's not much I can say about it, to be honest, because I've not seen it played much.
They got all the benefits of the demons with the extra output.
Yeah. And then he's going into some more demons with Belakar, Unclean One, Bloodthirsters, and a load of chaff.
There was a definite theme where I think all of our Chaos Demon players were about 95% the same lists.
Mm.
Everyone's got an Unclean One, a Bloodthirster, Belakor.
Big 5.
Yeah, the big 3, 4, 5 models, and then a load of chaff. So pretty consistent. But I mean, that's a demon off. See who's Bloodthirster and kill who's Bloodthirster. I guess.
Well, you know what they say: great minds think alike, and idiots seldom differ.
Fair enough. Next matchup: Michael Brown on his Necrons.
Oh
God, have I got the wrong mic here?
That seems to be a well-rounded Necron list. Wraiths, Warriors, backline shooting, combat.
Mike had a good draw last round.
Literally a bit of everything. So Michael played Toby last round, and I'll come on to that in a second.
Yeah.
He's got his Necron list is very. He's got one Catan in there, but he's got a couple of Warrior squads. He's got the Scorpic Lord. He's got some Wraiths. He's got a one Doomsday Arc, I think. He's got a bit of everything. It's a really rounded list. I think in some maps the problem is that it's not specialised enough.
Yeah.
But for a map like this on Purge, you've technically got the perfect unit to deal with each unit. So good strong match. He's going to be playing Logan Healy on his Death Guard.
Healy should be interesting. That's Plagueburst Crawlers, Terminators, and Drones.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much the standard Death Guard list nowadays is what you take. Yeah, Michael played Toby last round, and the reason I mention it now because it comes onto our next draw. Toby has made the decision to withdraw from the league this season. He has found it difficult to fight. I mean, I think he's coming from Prestatyn or North Wales, so getting down to the club. So Michael was awarded. The players who have played Toby so far, which were Nathan and Michael, have both been awarded wins for their games to keep it fair. Because won't be able to fulfil the fixtures. It does mean that our next draw, which is Toby, is into Richard Naismith. So it does mean that Rich will get a bye for the next round.
Okay.
So Rich, you've been saying you just wanted one win in the league. Well, you've just got it. So might not be how you wanted to get it. But congratulations. So Rich, you will unfortunately not have an opponent for this next league round, but you will get a win from that. So
that would be Toby, but we put it down as
yes, it will.
So
will
that
be
is
a bye.
Ringe.
Yes,
That is his name. Okay, I've almost misread that as Winge. I won't.
So that just
Okay.
so everyone's aware, Toby has decided to step out. So Rich, you will get a bye in round 3. Next
It'll
up,
be interesting to see how Rich throws that.
yes, yeah. I mean, good point. It's still entirely possible Rich might lose that game. Rich has done some crazy things in his time.
Well, poor Rich. We'll have to give him some support on this one. Obviously, everyone wants to play their league game.
Yeah.
So we'll have to come together and think of a way to make it up to him.
Yeah, like I said, we will find Rich. That obviously, we will ensure you've on the week you'll come into club to know you've not always come into all 3. But obviously, we'll make sure you have a decent opponent in the game to play. So you still have a game. Just
we'll throw you into Josh.
Yeah. You can play into Josh Burton's Space Wolves.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
right, next up, it is Jack and James on their Ultramarines, still playing their tried and tested list.
Yeah.
Lots of Terminators.
Yeah, First Company, Girly Man.
They just play it well. It's just
They do.
Lots of Girly, Cowguard, Company Heroes, Ballistus in there, Redemptor in there, just solid and all round.
Yeah.
And then we're playing Simon Payne on his Imperial Knights. So that's the second Ultramarines. Oaths, +1 to wound.
Did they not play Steve
heavy shooting
as well?
They did.
Yeah.
And they now play. But we do have 5 Knights players.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
So
it's just interesting how that's. What are the chances? You know.
Yeah. So
there'll be veterans of beating them up by now.
Yeah, I mean, Jack and James have had some great results into Knights as well.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they'll be happy with that one. And Simon, I think, actually is our only Knights player who's kept the older archetype.
Yeah, 2 big, 7 small. Got an Immolator, a Navigator.
Yeah, interestingly.
Not sure what a Navigator does.
It was something I played around with. The Navigator gives you 12-inch deep strike denial, which is nice. I think with these more open maps and the fact that all of a sudden on the home objective now seems to matter a lot more than it did in the past with the new mission selections. It's at least contributing to scoring. So that 12-inch denial with when you've only got kind of like 8 or 9 models on board gives you a bit of freedom, which is quite good.
I suppose it's pretty nice just to have one unit that just sits there.
Yeah, Joe, what I think with this Death Guard meta of 6-inch deep strikes from the Death Shroud, that 12-inch denial is
not many armies. Not all armies have access to it.
No, all Imperium do, funny enough, because they can all ally a Navigator for 75 points.
And then got the interesting from a team's perspective. Sorry, my brain immediately goes there. If you're planning on how do you handle Death Guard, you should be taking armies that have that 12-inch.
Yeah, obviously, Marines can obviously take infiltrators, can't they, as well?
Yeah.
And,
something to think about.
A lot of access. Good game. Next up is Ian on his Emperor's Children. Ian Rogerson.
Yeah.
Your last opponent.
My last opponent, very good opponent. He's playing a list which I believe Jordan has copied this week from him.
Yes, I think Ian and Jordan's list were almost identical for this round. Ian did play this last round, so Jordan has definitely copied Ian. I think after his game against Nick on Thursday, I think Jordan's panicked and he's.
Dare I say there are so many permutations of Emperor's Children, but yes.
Well, interestingly, there's now a new list, but it's the same. So there's 2 Emperor's Children lists. We play one. It's 50-50 chance. Pretty much. Looks solid. And we'll be playing James Larkin on his leagues of Votan.
She's Triple Sagan Fortress.
Yeah, Votan have been.
Oh my god!
Votan have just been in the background, slowly going. We'll just have a 6% win rate, and nobody will say anything.
No one's even complaining about them.
The Knight meta's obviously suited them. The shooting is incredible. They can do very well with their transports into armies like Emperor's Children.
Yeah, Ian's really going to have to pick his fights carefully. Though.
Yeah, especially there's 3 blocks of berserkers there, which Emperor's Children go, they're dead, and then the berserkers go,
You're dead.
but we found dead, so you're dead too.
Yeah, that's brutal. Ian's going to have to pull out a good game on that.
Yeah, it'd be a tough matchup. Next up is Chris Hughes on his Chaos Demons. Again,
Bellacore, Unclean One, Bloodthirsters, and Chef.
Yeah, pretty standard build. Again, I know Andy's Vindicators came in clutch into those big demons last time.
Yeah.
Really impressive.
Beautifully painted army.
And Chris will be playing
painter, isn't he?
Mr. Mischief himself, Phil Evans, on his Imperial Knights.
The drummer.
So Phil, again, has taken his own little spin on Imperial Knights. He does have the big Castellan, the big, well, not as big as the
gun platform.
The big gun platform.
Yeah.
Knight.
I do like those, actually.
Interestingly, when I messaged Phil to let him know he was 50 points short on his list and he could take an Imperial Agent, he responded by saying, "I don't need no more new units," and he refused. So,
Phil, just by the way,
Chris, when you're playing Phil, and Phil says, "I wish I had one more unit to score that secondary," just remind him of that.
He doesn't need it. He's obviously very, very confident.
Just thought it was quite funny. I mean,
interesting.
For those who know Phil, he is Mr. Mischief.
Fair cop here. Chris Hughes had that's about a rough matchup for demons into Marines.
Those big Imperial Knights.
And actually, Imperial Knights are even worse. So Chris is going to have to fight the fight of his life on his hands here. Yeah. So the point is, you're going from point. You can have the odds stacked against you. You've played 2 games of league now. You're playing the same list consistently week in, week out. To see if that experience can build and you can actually make those bad matchups swing in your favour somehow.
Yeah. I mean, let's be clear. Purge into a list that just has 5 knights.
It's not ideal.
It's not ideal.
So you don't want to feed it, chap.
Yeah, you probably aren't even going to get the 4 every turn. So no. it's a tough one. Our Knights players have an advantage here, I think. Especially Steve with 2 models. I mean, it's, again, Steve the masterstroke. He's not giving up Purge. He's won the game.
It's a 1 in 6 chance.
Steve's won the game already.
Getting Purge.
Yeah.
Gonna take 2 models.
You only need 1 objective, so
yeah, exactly. Well played, Steve. Masterstroke. Right, next up, Nick Jones on his Space Marines.
Oh, nice.
So the third of our Ultramarines.
Nick Jones.
Yeah, Nick, I like Nick's approach. He plays what he likes. He plays what he enjoys. Plays what he has. The tactical marine squad in there. There's some Centurions, which actually with the las cannons in this meta suddenly are becoming quite viable again. Really good gun platform.
Really confused myself then. I was like, "What are you on about? That's triple Unclean Ones, but that's Matthew Jones."
Yes, there's a lot of Joneses now.
There is. It's almost as if we're in Wales.
He will be
Jones passing to Jones.
He will be playing Matthew Elliott on his Death Guard.
Oh, nice.
Hell yeah, Death Guard, great.
Yeah, the notes we've got here, give me 1 of everything Nurgle, please.
Yes, yeah. It was, I like Matt's list. It just had every unit you can imagine, some Pox in there, each one of the drones, some Blight Lords, some Terminators, some Marines, just a real mix.
When I continue to get my arse handed to me for the rest of the league, that is what I will play for the last round of the league. I'll just bring back my Hormigont spam list from 9th edition.
Just put them out.
I've just never had the pleasure of playing Arthur people. I do hope that comes around one day. A lot of Nick Jones, Matt never played. I'd love to play some of these players.
Right, next up is a Demon Off. Talking to Joneses, it is Simon Jones. Into Matthew Jones.
Yeah.
Simon Jones.
Yeah, so Simon's got...
Which Jones was it, sorry?
Simon Jones into Matt Jones.
Simon Jones Senior.
Simon Jones.
Into Matt Jones Junior. Matt Jones is playing the triple unclean one. 30 OC spam.
Yeah, so Matt is playing, I think it's his allies list that he's practicing still. The double unclean one, Rotigus, lots of 30 OC plague bearers, some flesh hounds. Into Simon, which is the Shadow Legion. Now, interestingly, I think Shadow Legion does have a slight edge into Plague Legion. You've got the mobility, the 6-inch drops, the chance to get those charges in first,
Picky fights,
which is pretty big. The uppy downy, which again Plague Legion lacks. So demons on demons both got very similar armies in terms of the 3-4 big models. So that'll be an interesting game to watch. I
that'll be a
think.
good test.
Yeah. Can the unclean ones actually get around the board this round?
So interestingly, again, on those deployments on these ones on the left-hand side, they cannot get through the non-knight gap because their bases are actually wider than knights.
Can they get into the centre?
Luckily for Plague Legion, you can go through walls.
Yeah.
So they have a stratagem to go through the wall. So that bottom there, they can't get through that gap, but the Shadow Legion can carp it down through the middle, through the gaps there, and for CP you can move the unclean.
I would argue you can go through that top gap.
Yeah, those
through the
centre
centre.
Yeah, it's just that one gap.
Because that was an unforeseen.
It's
our WTC map. Do you think they think about these things?
Looks like it's becoming
You'll
quite
jump to conclusion that they think.
popular thing. Right.
Okay, sorry, we digress.
So I'm scrolling slowly now because we're getting on to the top 8.
Oh, here we go.
So first out is myself.
Well, the notes here say it's time to get serious.
Time to get serious.
I have reluctantly actually gone for a Coven list this round,
Which is the
one that's the performing meta list.
We're going into the.
I've been enjoying playing Rubikai, but the fault of having +1 arm save into 1 damage against Thundercav
I really want you to go to Thundercav.
Just made me think.
No one wants to go.
Maybe I want a demon, a decent army roll. So I have gone for Grand Coven.
Yeah.
I've only had 1 rep on it so far on the physical table, which was into Nathan on Thursday. Good game.
And it is a finesse army.
It is. It's got a lot of working parts to it. It can just collapse. So on these maps, combat would be horrible. Heavy shooty armies would be interesting.
Yeah, you can play a game there, can't you?
Yeah.
So stop it. Stop.
Should we see who it is?
Oh God.
Oh, screen's
Screen's
locked. I will be playing.
I gotta see.
Martin.
Oh,
so Martin has been the surprise package this league so far.
He's done well.
He's won both rounds. Obviously, we saw that victory into Nathan on Thursday. Me and Martin have played in literally every RTT recently, in Gauntlet recently. Martin, bless me, is probably sick of me. But I will say, Martin, I have been on knights every time.
Yes.
And Martin has loved shooting me with his vanquishers and just doing 12 damage to me non-stop. I've noticed in this list, Martin has 3 vanquishers.
Yeah.
And I am running 3 vanquishers.
Oh, he's out of his mind.
And I am running Magnus and 2 beasts. So those vanquishers are a little bit swingy, but potentially he could kill half my army at a turn. So we shall see.
It does favour that kind of janky, combat-y army, so I think you might have the edge on him in terms of the deployment side of it.
Yeah.
He has got a lot of OC. Depends how he uses it.
Yeah. Well, the notes here say Ash the Custodians. Tanks
yes,
with
that
4
reminds
plus
me. So
4
annoyingly,
everywhere.
yes, he has 3 engine seers,
Yeah.
so he can give 3 tanks 4 up in ones.
Yeah. Yeah, which is going to once you've blown your dev round, it could be tricky.
Yeah, if I don't pick up those, well, I'll just have to kill the engine. But that it'll be already my mind is thinking, how do I deal with all these 4 up in one tanks and these T12 Rogal Dogs that they are?
It's fine. I can see Josh WhatsApping Martin now with tips on how to beat you already.
Fuck you. This just means my punishment will be going into Josh Burns.
Right.
And getting 20 nil.
Next up is
this.
Mr. Rhino Reese.
Rhino Reese.
On Death Guard.
Yeah.
Has he got a Rhino?
No, not anymore.
No, he is playing the meta list.
It is. This is if you went to BCP and you went, give me the meta Death Guard list.
He's been talking to Matt's post.
This is more cookie cutter than you find in a bakery. This is full Reese. So I think we need to rename it now to Meta Reese. To be honest, I think he's taken the crown from Matt. It will be Reese now. I mean, you're seeing this live as I'm seeing this.
Yeah, I can see it. Go. Scroll
Who's
down,
it going
you
to
son of
be?
a bitch.
It is
It's
Fernando.
Fernando! Oh no!
I'm pretty sure I remember Reese, and the one person he didn't want to play on his Death Guard was Fur.
Really?
But I think that was on his Tau.
On his Tau, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Blood Angels, I mean, Fur is still playing a very solid list. Lots of Death Company, lots of jump packs. Yeah, lots of jump packs. Lots of. He's got Dante. He's got a couple of Impulsors. I think he's got a Lancer in there as well. I'm not sure.
Well, it's a good map for melee staging. We've already established that. However, Death Guard are exceptionally good into melee pressure. So that is going to be tough.
It's going to be a challenge.
If he's got any Sanguinary Guard, I don't know. If he's got MSU,
three Sanguinary,
only 3. That will be an interesting game.
I mean,
that is one
had a lot of units, but then Reese has a lot of drones.
Yeah, that's one for the stream.
And actually, obviously, all of the Blood Angels do go up to strength 10 with the +2 strength, and all of the drones are 2/9.
Yeah.
So actually, that would be that. I think that has to be a stream game. Not to put pressure on you guys, but that would be a fantastic game to see.
Of all the games I want to see ever, that's a good one.
Yeah. Right, 3 left.
He's never said that.
3 to go. Next up,
You can't handle this.
it is James Wright on the Orcs.
Why won't you say Wolves yet?
James Wright on the Orcs.
Yeah.
So back to basic choppy bullies and bites.
Yeah, the squig
Got rid of
is
the
gone.
squig off.
So what's the detachment then on bikes? Yeah, has he got speed freaks?
No, I think he just added a couple.
He's Warhorde still.
He's gone Warhorde.
Double beast bars.
He's added a few War Trikes.
Fracker, War Boss. Standard here, pretty much. Lots of boys, 2 trucks, battle wagon.
He's added flash gates.
Flash gates, mega knobs. He's obviously seen how well they performed.
I mean, last list, he didn't have any, and I was amazed because he had the Squig off, which has fire and deck, and he didn't have flash gates in it. I would have been like 2 units of fucking flash gates in that motherfucker, and just because it doesn't suffer a hit penalty for being in combat either.
No, and it's got like fire and deck like 32 or something ridiculous.
22 or
So,
something.
I mean, to be honest, on this map as well, again, maybe getting rid of the shield was the right idea. It's a lot more contested.
I'm still disappointed.
Interesting is who's going to be
Probably not
fighting.
painted. Go on then.
It's the Wolves.
Oh, he's going into the
It's
Wolves.
It's Josh
sigh of relief from me.
And the Space Wolves. So it will be Orcs into Wolves. So again,
Isn't that interesting?
That's quite a hard list. I'm going to quote exactly here. Thundercat!
Josh, I think in the list he even put a note on to say, yes, Ben, I've added the Thundercav back.
Yeah.
There are 2 units of Thundercav, a crap load of Wolven.
He's got some hammer strikes in there as
well.
And
he's
copying somebody else that we've been talking about.
He has channeled his inner Josh Roberts, and he's put 2 hammer strikes in the list.
Yeah.
Interesting. And it's, I assume, therefore, it is Stormlands.
I mean, I say hammer strikes, knowing Josh, they might be impulsors on flight stands.
Yeah,
that's possible.
Painted. Okay, how do we think? Well, because we're in the top 6 here.
There's only 2 more fixtures on.
So we're in top 6. I really want to. I don't know what the chat.
In fact, there's only 1 more game.
There is.
Actually, you should know who it is. I just realised only 1 more fixture.
There's only 2 people I didn't want to go into my old list, so I know who it is. But anyway, I just wanted to take a moment on that one. If the strength on the flash gates is anything close to 6, I think it's 5. Unfortunately. If it's 6, I think James can swing that. But there's a lot of melee staging on that map.
There is.
Yeah, Josh is going to be hitting him hard and early, I imagine.
Yeah. Saying that, the knobs are great profile into those, especially with the sustained, into those Wolfen, which the Wolfen are going to struggle to get.
Jump 6 flash kids.
Oh, that's going to be a
Sustained
close
hits
game.
one, yeah.
That's going to be a close game.
It's another one that you kind of like to see on stream.
I think so.
But again, obviously, no pressure.
No pressure. Yeah. We'll approach you afterwards.
But 2 big combat, and then talking about combat armies, we know what the last fixture is.
Yeah,
and it will be Mr. Jordan Davis on his Emperor's Children into Josh on his Eldar. Now,
That should be a fun game.
Jordan again has made some
It's not like
iterations
this latest melee staging
to
on
his
it.
list. He has added a couple of Mauler Fiends, I noticed,
Yes.
into his list. Still got a couple of Demon Princes.
Jordan the
lots of-
Fabulous, I should add.
Jordan the Fabulous, lots of Noise Marines, obviously Tormentors. I mean, the one thing that, especially in Purge, the one thing that Emperor's Children like will be to kill lots of units early for those Courtier buffs.
Yeah.
Which he needs to do for Purge anyway. So it probably lines up.
Yeah,
quite
but he doesn't want to
nicely.
burn out. They want to smash early, potentially. So obviously, I'm biased. I'm going into this. Eldar do not want to go into Emperor's Children. It's probably one of the only few matchups left in the game with this meta that is good for them. I back Jordan on this one, but I also think Jordan deserves. He's been in contention for a while for this league.
It's about time that this went to somebody else.
It is, and I think Jordan's somebody I wouldn't mind giving it to.
And what about
the
match? So there we go. That is the draw. Some
Wow.
fantastic matchups there. Those last three games, particularly Josh Jordan, Josh James, Fernando, and Reese, all got potential stream games.
Yeah, I think
read over them, but also some great mid-tier games as well. Some really good matchups there, especially the Marines into Knights. Again. We potentially going to go into this round with only 4 unbeaten players. However, we are seeing regular draws at the moment.
we are, which I think is showing what those I was going to say twist cards, the challenge cards make a difference.
Yeah,
Huge difference.
I'll certainly be playing for that 6 points differential.
I mean the challenger cards are massive. They are. We saw that with Nathan and Martin. Actually, Martin got the win, not just obviously from the challenger cards, but they played a massive part. Those, I think, it was 6 or 9 points he got from challenger cards effectively got him the win. So they just wouldn't have existed in the previous iteration of the game. So
Is it worth clarifying now? I had a drunken epiphany the other night.
Have you ever had a sober one?
I've never been sober. But about the challenger cards and how you could meta play into not painting. But the painting score is added at the end, so you can't use those 10 points to get your challenger cards by not painting your own.
You can't. And actually, I think it's worth mentioning, because again, probably the most common misplay we're seeing at the moment is that even if you are eligible for a challenger card, you don't put it into your turn. So you don't take it at the start of the round.
I got that wrong. Wow.
You do draw it. So if you are 6 behind, you get it, but not until
your turn.
Until
you don't
your
draw
turn.
it,
Just to stop your opponent having the chance to potentially play around any
for sure.
any mission.
Don't draw that at the start of the battle round, people. You calculate if you don't draw it. Please do reach out to us if you want to be on the stream. We want to have people who've never been on. In fact, mostly that's the most important thing. Give people exposure, give the club exposure, give the league exposure. Fur has never been on, that's for sure. James has never been on. Josh Burns has. There's a few more. I'm looking further down as well. So please, let myself, Ben, or Adam know if you're interested.
I do notice how Josh is skirting around the fact that him and Jordan will be a really good game that everyone wants to see.
Well, we could do that one, but someone has to man the
I think Nick's time is calling.
Okay, let's do this.
Hell, I'm even tempted to be sober just to watch you get beaten on stream.
Oh, I'm gonna have to try.
Good game. But yeah, that's it. So we will publish the mission. The website will be live again by this evening with the matchups on, so you'll be able to go back to Deeside Defenders and see the matchups and the current league table as it stands. We will of course publish the matchup and the mission and the terrain layout for you in the league group. If you are interested in going on stream, just to recap, please do speak to your opponent first, rather than just message us and say,
that's a good
I
point.
want to be on stream, because we don't want to then put undue pressure. So if you and your partner would like the idea of it, let us know. We can only pick so many games, but we're open to seeing.
Maximum 3. Usually Friday night's our schedule. I do have a baby and a marriage to maintain. And also we're entering WTC season.
We are, and I was going to mention that we do have a large proportion of the league base going to Allies in a couple of weeks' time. So I would say, guys, why I guess people may want to push their league games off to the week after Allies. Just be cautious of making sure the games get played.
Does that work with the schedule?
We have basically the third week of the league this week will be
The weekend of Allies.
After Allies, the week. Where are we now? So it's the 7th. So we'll have.
It's the week of Allies.
Yeah, so the week of Allies is the last week to play.
Yeah.
So I would suggest maybe get your games done early to give you 2 weeks to practice for Allies.
Yeah, I mean, I might not be able to stream this Friday because I'll be in Birmingham for the Welsh practice. I'll try and do that, but time schedules are tight. Aside from that, I put the mission back up on here. I will share it later. Purchase the Pro. There's the map for you to display one last time. And
just to remind one last thing to say, we are expecting updated FAQ rules from WTC in preparation for the championships. So there are still some decisions being made
this week.
We will, of course, it's not going to be points based, it's going to be rules, so impactful mission rules. We will be looking at as they're released, so there may be some tweaks and changes to the actual player rules for the round based on.
I would say there's a good chance we'll implement them because because of the Allies and WTC coming up. But we'll take it on.
We don't want to wait
by
3 weeks if there's quite clear rules. There's still quite a lot of ambiguity of things that we know should make sense, but kind of haven't quite been ruled yet. So watch this space. Any rules changes we'll publish in the league group.
Great. Well, anyway, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for supporting the channel. Like, subscribe. Thanks to Ben and Adam for being here. And this just gets easier.